Oh, I saw a new Noah Samsen video on Asmongold, which I kind of really want to. I kind of can't resist.
If I have to pick, like, I would pick Israel over Iran every day of the week. Absolutely. Like, it's not even a question. Like, I know that people have, like, this Israel fatigue and they hate Israel, but yeah, I would pick Israel every day of the week. And anybody who doesn't want you to do that is probably listening to terrorist propaganda. That's the reason why. Absolutely.
When he says pick, what exactly does it mean? Like, pick a country that to continue to exist? Does he mean pick a country to defend? What does he mean by pick exactly? Because I'm going to be honest, we aren't personally funding with our taxpayer dollars Iran's weaponry, Iran's the healthcare for Iranians, the infrastructure for Iran. Like, we are burning money doing that outside of, in Israel.
This is Asmongold. Asmongold is one of the most viewed live streamers in the world. With a daily viewership of over 5 million viewers, this is roughly 10 times the viewership of CNN. And apparently, Asmongold is concerned with peace in the Middle East. How does he propose to achieve this peace? Well, with bombs.
I think Israel should keep bombing Lebanon because Lebanon has terrorists in it. They have Hezbollah in it. And they're firing rockets into Israel. They are. They're firing rockets in. I hope he kills every single fucking one of the Hezbollah members in Lebanon. Every single fucking one. And only then.
I'm sure the United States would feel the same way. I'm sure Americans would feel exactly the same way if, like, Vietnam started bombing the United States to get rid of the terrorists in the United States. Right? Especially if they were randomly killing civilians. I'm sure that would be totally acceptable.
Will the people there have peace?
On his June 14th live stream, Asmongold advocated for the continuation of Israel's bombing campaign in Lebanon. And in the same stream, he also advocated against a peace agreement to end the US and Israel's war on Iran.
If you make peace with Iran, they no longer consider us a mortal enemy. Why is that not an acceptable outcome to you? Because they're not. They're just going to lie to you. They're ideologically captured. They're religious zealots, and they can't be allowed to, they can't be allowed to be trusted. They've already broken too many deals before. They've lied.
That's so crazy when he's talking about Iran, when the party that has consistently violated treaties or military practice or negotiations or diplomatic behaviors or anything remotely peaceful has been the United States to Iran. But sure, it's Iran that I would love an example. I mean, I know that he doesn't speak off of any actual information and he doesn't have any basis for what he's saying. But, like, I would love to get these examples about Iran.
Too many times.
Asmongold's argument for the continued bombing of Iran and Lebanon is that in order to achieve peace, we must get rid of the terrorists. Hezbollah is a terrorist group, so he says, and Iran funds them, ergo, we have to bomb the terrorists.
Can you tell your argument why you consider them terrorists? Because they fund people that attack and kill civilians on purpose and target civilians to kill them in order to achieve political goals. Groups like Hezbollah and the Houthis.
Oh, you mean like the United States?
And Hamas. It's that simple.
There are a few issues with his analysis here, though. First among them is the premise. Asmongold repeats the IDF's line that they are targeting Hezbollah in Lebanon, but that's not what's actually happening. What the evidence shows is that targeting Hezbollah is just a pretext, one that Israel uses to blow up everything in sight and mass murder civilians. Israel is targeting men, women, children, journalists, healthcare workers, hospitals, ambulances. They are leveling entire cities. They're also routinely using white phosphorus indiscriminately and in civilian residential areas. In the first month of attacks on Lebanon alone, they used it to burn over 10,000 acres of forests and farmland. These are all war crimes. In just the past...
Yeah, but you have to understand it's a war crime when the terrorists, the evil terrorists, the ones of a particular complexion, when they use white phosphorus. But when we use white phosphorus, it's just based. Okay? Do you guys get that? I don't understand what's hard to understand about that. Like, yeah, it's a weapon of war, and using it as a war crime because of the absolute devastation that it causes to people, because it infinitely burns effectively. There's a really good video online showing how, like, white phosphorus can just burn and burn and burn, and it, like, burns through people's lungs if they inhale it, and it'll burn straight through your bone. And obviously, besides like the environmental destruction and like the soil destruction. But you have to understand that when Israel uses it, it's just like yup based. But when the brown people use anything ever, it's the most evil thing that has ever existed. Oh, that's why it's called white phosphorus. Only white people are allowed to use it. Oh, see, now that makes a lot of sense. Because otherwise it would be called brown phosphorus. Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. I'm glad you enlightened me on that.
4 months, Israel has killed nearly 4,000 people in Lebanon, including hundreds of children and healthcare workers. On average, Israeli forces have killed more than one child every day since April. On October 3rd, 2024, Israel bombed a medical center in Beirut, killing 9 people and injuring 14. 7 of those killed were members of the medical staff. That same month, Israel destroyed a significant portion of an entire city, Tyre, one of the oldest cities in the world. They damaged over 400 apartments, completely destroyed several buildings, and demolished a number of ancient historical sites. On March 12, 2026, Israel bombed a beachside tent encampment housing people that they had displaced from their bombings, killing 8 and wounding 31. The strike came in the middle of the night, and it was a double-tap strike. The first missile landed and killed 3 people near the beach, and when people approached to help the victims, the second missile landed. No evacuation warning was issued. This was in a safe zone. In all of these examples of mass civilian death and destruction, what did Israel say it was doing? It said it was targeting Hezbollah. This is their pretext, and Asmongold is repeating it uncritically. And the same is true of Asmongold's endorsement of Israel's stated goal of eliminating Hamas. That may be what Israel says it's doing, but in reality, what Israel's actually doing in Gaza is killing entire families by leveling apartment blocks, killing toddlers with machine guns, shooting babies in the head with snipers, while they're being breastfed by their mothers alone in tents in broad daylight. The vast majority of the people that Israel has killed in Gaza have been civilians. That is the conclusion of every independent expert. The only ones still denying it in 2026 are Israel and the United States, and the content creators online that defend them for some reason still. And as for Asmongold's claim about the United States, the same goes for them. Firstly, because they supply the vast majority of the weapons that Israel has used to commit its genocide, but they also do murderous bombing campaigns themselves. In the first week of the war, the United States blew up an Iranian elementary school, killing 156 people, 120 of whom were children. 120 little girls and boys murdered by the United States in a war that they...
And how do they defend it? Like, how do the right-wing pundits or the right-wing political commentators defend it? They say, well, that's the cost of war. Sometimes war is messy. But if there's even one civilian death that's American or Israeli, you guys are the most evil terrorists and we need to wipe out your civilization. You kill 120 schoolgirls? Well, that's just, war is just like, you know, sometimes there are tragedies in war. And there was nothing we could do. We had to do that. We had to. We had to kill those school children. Sometimes we have to do evil things. But you guys never can do that ever. All right? Just so we're clear. That's the cost of war on our side, never the cost of war on your side.
Started. Asmongold has apparently consulted the history books and feels vindicated by them.
Every single page of the history book proves me right.
But I'm not sure which ones he read, because if you look back at any point, you will find the United States committing these same kinds of atrocities across the globe for their wars of aggression. The other issue with Asmongold's analysis here is the presence of that word terrorism. What makes someone a terrorist? Well, for Asmongold, terrorism is defined as the use of violence against civilians for political goals.
Because they fund people that attack and kill civilians on purpose and target civilians to kill them in order to achieve political goals.
Phew, thank goodness. Thank goodness the U.S. has never, ever engaged in collective punishment. Thank goodness Israel has not explicitly stated that they explicitly engage in collective punishment. Whew. Could you imagine a world where that wasn't the case? Thank goodness.
A part of his definition for terrorism is the inability to abide by the terms of agreements.
If we are signing a deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran, we are just delaying this war until later on. That's what I think. I think that as long as these people are in power, you are going to, like, they're not going to stop trying to build a nuclear bomb. They're like, I think that this is what's likely to happen. They will just blow something else up in a week. They will. It's going to keep happening.
But, and I know this reveal is probably so surprising, Israel and the United States do both of those things all the time. They do it by killing civilians, as we just looked at, and funding and arming and supporting governments that mass murder civilians in campaigns of genocide. But they also do it by breaking ceasefires and peace agreements. The most recent example is, starting a war. They started the war and lost, mind you. That's Wikipedia official now. They attacked Iran first, unprovoked. There wasn't a war, and then there was, because the United States and Israel attacked. And the whole reason there's even a need for ceasefire negotiations in the first place is because they attacked. Another important example here is the Iran nuclear deal. Despite observations from independent experts that Iran was abiding by the terms of the agreement, it was the United States who randomly decided to pull out and then proceed to administer brutal sanctions on Iran, crushing the country's economy in a move that was widely understood to be an unprovoked act of aggression that was condemned by governments across the globe. And of course, the same is true of Israel. They violated ceasefires in Gaza and Lebanon now tens of thousands of times, further displacing millions of people, destroying entire towns, and starving, kidnapping, torturing, and brutalizing the population. Asmongold cites—
Okay, that's nice and all, Noah. I get it. Wow, look at you and your fucking facts. But did you consider Trump needed to go to war with Iran to open the strait? Well, to be clear, sorry, he got into the war and then they closed the strait, but then he was already in the war. So, he had to stay in the war to open the strait that was already open. Okay, so did you consider fucking putting that in there? I bet you didn't put that in your fucking video, you fucking hack. And also another thing, the Dow is over 50,000. Why are you laughing?
Hezbollah rocket fire as a justification for Israel's bombing in Lebanon.
They're firing rockets into Israel.
But he neglects to mention any of these violations. In Lebanon, in the same time frame of the ceasefire, where Israel committed literally 10,000 violations, Hezbollah fired a total of 4 rockets. But for him, that's a valid reason to promote the IDF's destruction of a sovereign country. So now, okay, of course, there's a double standard, right? By Asmongold's definition of terrorism, which is killing civilians and breaking deals, both the United States and Israel are terrorists. Asmongold acknowledges this directly in response to a viewer in his chat that brings up Israel.
Does Israel do that too? Israel's on our side. Iran's not. It's that simple. And we do that to them too. But it's very simple. It's our side versus the other side. I don't want them doing that.
He acknowledges it further while discussing the United States.
To the extent that there is even a hint of it. Even a slight, tiny, some little resistance army in Africa, immediately bomb the shit out of them. Shut them down, keep it done. Anybody that's chanting death to America, anybody that's going around talking about how they're going to attack the United States or anything else, totally shut them down.
And yet, he still supports them. He still directly advocates for their violence. He gets mad at viewers that point out the contradiction regarding Israel.
AIPAC funded? Haha, right. Yeah, and, again, it's Israel. Israel's so bad. These people are trying to blow you up too, bro. That's it. Do you think Israel's interest is honest with America?
These people are trying to blow you up too. He's doing the meme. Let me see if I can pull it up. They're trying to get you. I'm just in the way. Open image on full screen this. There we go. He's actually trying to do this in real time about Israel and Iran. He's actually just replace Trump with Netanyahu here, and he's trying to say, in reality, they're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. It's no. Nope. No. Nope.
I'm not interested in your misdirection towards Israel. I have no interest in that. This is just terrorist subversion.
He even argues that anti-American slogans should be punishable by extrajudicial drone execution, regardless of their validity.
I don't give a fuck what reasoning they have. I don't care what their reasoning is. I don't care what they think is right. It doesn't matter to me. The only thing that I care about is neutralizing that threat. So whatever gets rid of, I don't care. You think that I give a fuck about what their reasoning is or what their justification is? I don't care. You're doing it. Okay, that's the problem.
And why does he do that? Well, the answer is fairly simple. He's just a racist.
No. No. He has a black friend. I don't know if you know this. He has a black friend, okay? He has a black friend. I'm not even fronting, okay? I'm pretty sure him and NMP are friends, okay? So he's got a black friend. Oh, and Lakari. Yeah, that's true too. Okay, so he has. Okay, I'm sorry. You're gonna call this guy who has not one but two black friends racist? Who's the real racist, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I fucking thought.
Mentally, he views some groups of people as less worthy of life than others. Terrorism is okay when we do it, but when they even protest that terrorism, they deserve to die.
Why do you think they say death to America? Probably because you attacked them first? Well, damn, that's too bad. I guess we're gonna have to attack them again.
We, Americans, and the Israelis, the inhabitants of our overseas proxy military colony, we have a right to live, and they do not. We have human rights, and they do not.
The one thing that's sad is like the people who do watch Asmongold who don't recognize that it's like all hypocrisy and it's all rules for thee but not rules for me. Because I understand the mold fans that are like, yeah, I'm a racist piece of shit too, and I think that all the brown countries should be nuked to shit. It's like, okay, that makes sense why you're watching that guy. But the people that are like, no, he just has principles. He just believes in principles. Like terrorism is wrong. It's like, dog, he's literally pro the US doing as much terrorism as they want. It's not a principled stance that he has that he's anti-terrorism. The only principled stance is I want to be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do, and you do whatever you want to do. But if you do that, know that if any of those things are negative towards us or hurt us, we are going to attack you in any way, shape, or form that we feel like it. And by negative, I mean anything as far as saying, hey, Israel, stop invading Lebanon. That's basically a call to war, call to action immediately for the U.S. to kill 160 school children.
We are human, and they are not. To quote Asmongold himself, it's really that simple.
It's that simple.
But for the opponents of racist mass murder, it's not enough to just point to the double standard. Asmongold's position, while racist, is logically consistent because he's a racist. It's also not enough to point out the infinitely disproportionate nature of this violence. The fact that Israel has killed, at minimum, 10,000 times more people than Hamas did on October 7th is irrelevant to supporters of Israel. For them, it can all be explained by Hamas's lack of firepower. If they had the weapons Israel had, they'd do the same. Israel just had to kill tens of thousands of children. Because, in a hypothetical I made up in a dream I had, they did the same to us. Israel had to, as Asmongold put it, nip it in the bud.
If you don't kill them...
And the crazy thing, too, is I'm pretty sure Norm Finkelstein has, like, a really good piece on this. There's, like, a really good clip on this. This is the same exact defense for not freeing slaves. Okay, but think about it. If we free all the slaves, they're going to kill all the white people. The other people, they have to be as evil as we are, so they're just going to do exactly what we've been doing to them. So we can't ever do that, because what if they retaliate and do to us what we've been doing to them? And it's like, okay, first off, projection. Second off, that's insane. You can't justify genocide. You can't justify the world's largest open-air prison by what, your fears? Because of your treatment of these people? Huh?
They will kill you. Now, they might not kill you today, but they'll kill you in a year. They'll kill you in 10 years. To the extent that they have the capacity to, they will use that capacity to harm you. So my goal is always to nip it in the bud, stop it from happening, to even stop it from even beginning to happen.
No, the double standards and disproportionality are not enough.
Also, Evil Mario, thanks. Sorry, totally not related to what we're talking about, but I wanted to talk about it. This is why it's always really funny to watch trolls come in here and try their hardest to, like, insult me by being like, yeah, well, did you know you're an evil slut? Did you know that? It's like, when people sub to this channel, they say, geez, more than 4 years of watching this pocket-sized broad yap. You Mario for the 50 months. Oh, Christ. Okay, sorry, back to the video.
The only way to get to the bottom of this terrorism quandary is to find the
evil slut enjoyer clocking in. Oh, you found the right place.
Inception point. Where does this all begin? And looking at the historical record, the answer is pretty clear. Before Hezbollah existed, Israel invaded Lebanon, killed tens of thousands of people, the vast majority of whom were women and children, directly facilitated the slaughter and rape of thousands of civilians in the Sabra and Shatila massacre, a massacre the United Nations General Assembly declared an act of genocide. Hezbollah was formed in response to this genocidal invasion, as a group resisting it, fighting to get Israel out of their country. And that's exactly exactly what they did. Before Hamas existed, Israel stole Palestine. Between 1947 and 1949, Zionist forces destroyed some.
I'm just gonna stop you right there, okay? That's nice and all, and I appreciate that you're, like linking sources and showing that blowback exists. But all I heard was Sabran, which sounds a lot like Sabra, which sounds a lot like anti-Semitism. So, yeah, I think this is pretty clear, cut and dry evidence that Noah Samsen is the world's largest anti-Semite, and we need to condemn him immediately. Okay, did you consider that the act of reading is Hamas? Yeah. If you read a history book, that's actually also Hamas. You are Hamas if you read anything that doesn't come directly from the IDF. Okay, I just don't understand why you wouldn't trust what the IDF says. It's not like they've lied countless times.
Some 530 villages and about 15,000 Palestinians were killed in a series of mass atrocities, including scores of massacres. 750,000 Palestinians, over 80% of the Arab population of what became Israel, were ethnically cleansed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Have you considered Noah is paid by Snark, who are controlled by Hassan Piker? See, it's making sense now. Yeah. I'm beginning to think that you're doing this for some kind of YouTube channel, and that means this has to be somehow Hassan's fault. It has to be.
This event, the Nakba, and all of the violence in its wake, this is the inception point. Regardless of the label you use to describe these groups, the moral calculus doesn't change. Resisting invasion, occupation, and genocide through armed struggle is moral and just and legal under international law, and it should not be condemned. Your own personal feelings towards the methods are irrelevant. They do not matter, not when you live in the West and not in Palestine, and especially not when those objections are weaponized as the pretext for genocide, which is what Asmongold demonstrates in his video here. So, as I said at the start, Asmongold is one of the most widely viewed live streamers on YouTube. He gets millions of views per day, several times more than any other political live streamers and most news channels. And when these millions of viewers click onto his show, this is what they are greeted with: terrorist propaganda.
Israel should keep bombing Lebanon because Lebanon has terrorists in it. They have Hezbollah in it.
Profoundly ignorant.
Let me say a couple things. One, it is crazy that YouTube just has this like insane right-wing algorithm that actively pushes right-wing content significantly more often than left-wing content. But the other thing that's insane, one thing that no one is talking about is Snark part of Gay Pack that is fueling Austin show with unlimited money? The OR1 candidate. That's another thing that no one is talking about that I feel like people should be talking about. And I do feel like that should be talked about. But more important than that, this one too, I want to watch this. Personally, I feel like right-wing commentators, do you denounce Austin show? I do denounce him. The other thing with like right-wing content creators or like right-wing YouTubers or whatever, commentators, excuse me, is that they kind of like all eventually fall off because they rely so heavily on fear-mongering. Think of like all of the right-wingers that have like had their cycle and have had their 5 minutes of fame and have like completely fallen off, right? Like it's pretty rare also that any of these people reinvent themselves. And especially someone like Asmongold, it's like, I don't know how you can go farther than that. YouTube is mostly Chinese construction videos or conservative slop. I've never seen the Chinese construction videos. What the hell? Like Tim Pool saying there's going to be a civil war for 8 years. I mean, seriously, genuinely, like I remember during the first like Gamergate, I was like, damn, these people just like own YouTube pretty much. Like, what the fuck? This is just fine on YouTube, really? Damn, okay. Well, I guess this is just what YouTube is. And all of those people fell off. Like Jordan Peterson, I mean, I don't even know what happened to that guy. I think his brain just got completely fried after the Xanax and then the meat diet, the all meat diet, and then the one shot of an apple cider vinegar where he said he couldn't stay away, he couldn't fall asleep for a month and then he fell into a coma. But even like the more reasonable like Ben Shapiro or Tim Pool, like I thought Tim Pool would be around for forever and he still sort of is, but it's like not at the same extent, even remotely like this at the same level. Dave Rubin, another good example. What a joke that Dave Rubin is now. Oh my God. His daughter sold him into medical experiments, I think. Speaking of the all-meat diet, did you see the new Eddie Burbeck video? Wait, I have to watch that. Steven Crowder, nowhere to be seen. Well, I gotta say, after the wife abuse stuff, yeah, there was no coming back from that shit, man. That doesn't work for me either. That doesn't work for me either. Comically, the only people that have stuck around have been like the people that can either become more extreme and sort of reinvent themselves, or the people that actually don't simp for like Israel and don't simp for whatever is the modern, I don't know, political position of the people who hold power in Congress or in any of our elected positions. They just go like Candace Owens just went full conspiracy theory. She just went insane. Oh, 1 second, I want to switch my earbuds. She literally went insane and just goes on and on about how Charlie Kirk was murdered by TPUSA and how Erica Kirk murdered her husband and that how Charlie Kirk was actually going to Professor X's school for gifted children because he was secretly Aquaman and he had time control. And then Magneto actually killed Charlie Kirk. Like, the videos that Candace Owens puts out are fucking insane. Like, they're literally crazy. Oh, and then, like, she's literally getting sued for insisting that Macron's wife is a man. It's like, oh, okay. You know, she could just be a pedophile, right? You know that, right, man? You know? She could just be a female pedophile. That could be possible. I don't know, man. This is an idea. Just as an idea. But yeah, basically the point that I'm talking about is that you have to, like, as a right-wing commentator, you have to, like, reinvent yourself by either becoming more extreme, generally, or falling off of a cliff. Like, Tim Pool could not reinvent himself and become more extreme because he didn't want to be more extreme. Ben Shapiro could not reinvent himself. So he just kept doing the same playbook, and then he's, like, wondering why they've had to, like, fire, 50-80% of their staff? Like, all of these people, even Joe Rogan. Do you guys remember when I thought Joe Rogan would never fall off? I was like, this meathead's going to be here forever. And then he fucking fell off. Because it just became like, oh, you're just doing the same shit that you were doing, like, a decade ago, but it's kind of stale now. It's kind of stale as fuck now. Surely Ben Shapiro's new racist movie will bring the Daily Wire back for sure this time. Whereas, like, I have to say, a lot of, like, left-wing commentators have only had, like, kind of steady growth. Where, like, Majority Report, I feel like over the years has gotten, like, more and more and more traction. Like, Mehdi Hassan has gotten more and more traction. I feel like Kyle Klinsky has gotten more and more and more traction. And it's like, they've never, like, blown up and then fell off, but they just kind of, like, have had, like, a steady, you know. So, yeah, just when you sell nothing but fear, and just, like, fear of immigrants, fear of Democrats, fear of the trans people, fear of how evil women are, fear of the gay people, fear of the minorities, the brown and black people in your country. If you just, that's all you're selling, it just gets boring after a little bit. It's like, I went to my local fear supplier and, like, bro got nothing, man. His shit doesn't hit anymore. My amygdala's never been more bored. I just don't. Anything? No. Okay. So, yeah. I do think that, like, there is a period of when you have absolutely nothing positive to offer and have to rely on the next shock jock content, you get slated eventually, yeah. So, I feel like it's just a matter of time that, like, that type of shit falls off. Because I think you can reinvent yourself to be more extreme, but how do you reinvent Asmongold to be more extreme? Like, he already lives in squalor. Like, what more? Like, what? Literally, like, what more can you do? How do you make this creature? One moment. I think I passed it. No. Wait. I could have swore I saved it. What the heck? Here it is. Bro, how do you make this creature more extreme? Denims, why would you show me that? Sorry, it's just kind of funny when, like, the people that talk about other people being genetically inferior look like this.
Commercial treatment through DEI and affirmative action at the expense of white and Asian Americans. Socioeconomic
By the way, it is crazy that he didn't get banned for this.
conditions is a cope and everyone knows it.
Yes. Correct.
I mean, this is the Elon Musk style. No, they are genetically inferior, and socioeconomic conditions are a cope.
They are. It's a fact.
Of course, we're going to be watching this video as well from the Birdman treatment.
For anyone who missed that, Hassan's reading a tweet of Asmongold where Asmongold says in the tweet, it's true, blacks, yes, blacks, not black people, blacks, experience systematic racism. They benefit from it. Blacks and other minority groups enjoy preferential treatment through DEI and affirmative action at the expense of white and Asian Americans. And then something cope, and everyone knows it. And Hassan says, this is just the same exact Elon Musk garbage where they think that, like, non-white people are genetically inferior. And what does Asmongold say in response? He says, yep, that's right.
And socioeconomic conditions are a cope.
They are. It's a fact.
Sorry, this part.
No, they are genetically inferior, and socioeconomic conditions are a cope.
They are. It's a fact.
They are. Like, Twitch sees this and says, yep, okay with us. Yep, totally cool with us. Guy who says he doesn't do any reading and goes based off of vibes, be like, it's a fact. This clown lecturing us about genetics. Dude, you can't talk about other people being genetically inferior. I mean, in general, but you also can't talk about other people being genetically inferior when you look like this. It's just too easy of a slam dunk, man. Come on. Come on, man. Please. The only racism Twitch cares about is anti-white and anti-fascist. Excuse you. They also care about anti-Sabra. Hummus. All right? Don't be such an extremist, you freak.
Factually incorrect and morally demented propaganda for US-Israeli terrorism. I don't know how convincing any of his videos are, you know, arguing that terrorism is okay when we do it because we're the good guys. It's not as compelling to the average person as it might have been 20 years ago. Not when we have access to live footage of the reality of what that terrorism results in every day, and our governments can't keep it under wraps. This channel is just a place people can go to have their feelings of racist bloodlust validated. It's a safe space. But if there is anyone watching that wants to actually engage with the facts critically, I would encourage them to consult any of the resources on screen now. That goes for Asmongold too. Read any of these reports on your stream if you want to leave your echo chamber for a moment and contend with the fact that you are supporting terrorism when you say stuff like this. I personally don't think he'll do that, but, you know, I figured I'd ask anyways, just in case stranger things have happened. But anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Join my Patreon if you enjoyed it, and also if you don't want to have to hear me talk about people like Asmongold ever again. If I get enough patrons, I'll be able to do that. Okay, bye.
Dude, he left us. Why would Noah do this to us? Why would Noah leave us like this? What the hell? Did you ever watch the video on the interviewing the Asmongold fans? No, I didn't. I tried to watch it, but I was a little bit like, my ADHD kind of got in the way, and I was just like watching, and then I was watching, and I was watching, and I was like, okay. Every time I see an Asmongold clip, I keep asking myself, how is this supposed to make you look smart? I mean, I think like, it's just like vibes-based thing, where I think like he's at the point where he just says whatever the fuck he feels like saying, and then like if he's ever unsure, he just reads his chat and then tells his chat what they want to hear. Sorry, I was reading some. All right, let me close this stuff, and then, ooh, do I want to watch this? I can't tell. Someone said, I forgot what the text that was attached to this said. Fuck. Someone in chat linked this.
Defense Force monkey boots. We'll stick to Spanish while your parents are in the room, but the goal is to teach you Hebrew by the end of this season. Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Can you find the West Bank? Trick question. You weren't supposed to click anything, Hamas. Oh no! Swiper punched me in the eye and stole my backpack. Was he wrong to do this? I hope you answered no, because the reality is, when you really sit and think about it, Swiper is ex-IDF, and me as a little brown girl, that can really be triggering for Swiper, that can really set Swiper off. He has the right to defend himself. Some have said, Dora, international law states that you can't just rewrite the map and draw on it as you please to decide what is and isn't explorable land for you and your terrorist monkey. It'll result in y'all being wanted by the UN. To that, I say, anti-Semitism. Buenos noches, friends. See you next time. And whichever one of you fucking bitches keep emailing the studio, Eid Mubarak, I want you to look out your window and wave to the Mossad agent, because we already on that ass. Yeah, this ain't rated G. It's TV-14. Yeah, pinche puta. Hola, friends.
I've seen this video before. I like wiped it from my memory. Oh my god.